Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Rachel Lindhagen from Etched Marketing Academy, and I am happy to have you here, continuing our series on marketing fundamentals or marketing basics, how to build more awareness for your product or service, driving better results for you, making sure that you get really good returns and results from your marketing efforts. Because if we're just working on it and sending stuff out, but we're not getting results, then it's going to get really frustrating. So in today's session, I'm going to talk about finding the right time to share our marketing messages with our audience. I'm also giving you a little sneak peek. I've been really busy. You can see the walls behind me. It's kind of frightening, the number of Post-it notes on there and the color coordination. Those are all the ideas that I'm working on and what I want to bring to you in the coming months, probably next year and a half even. Watch for lots more blog posts, lots more live videos, some stuff happening on the YouTube channel, and really exciting, some courses, because I want to be able to take what I've done for a career and help you learn how to market your business or your service so that you too can be very successful. Some of you know me. I'm Rachel Lindhagen. I'm the president and founder of Etched Marketing and Etched Marketing Academy. I am a career marketer. I have a degree in journalism and a MBA in marketing. I've been in the business for about 20 years. I look deceptively young, which is kind of nice. Not quite as young as I look like. That's how I have the experience, the background, and everything. I have taught marketing training programs for at least 10 years in my professional capacity. So I was the brand manager, marketing manager for a franchise organization years ago and taught at our conventions, did all of our training, our Discovery Day meetings and presentations, things like that, to really help new small business owners understand how to market their franchise and how to do their local store marketing. I've also spent 5 years working, almost 6 years working for ad agencies, and had the opportunity to go on site and train our clients about marketing best practices and how to help their franchise owners. Several of them were franchise organizations. I went to their conferences and did marketing training presentations as well. I've also spoken at a number of conferences within the industry, both here in the States and internationally, which was really fun to be able to travel for work and speak about something that I'm very passionate about and join, hop abroad. It was kind of fun. So that's just a little bit of background. What we've been talking about is the basic core fundamental statement that sums up marketing. Marketing is reaching the right person at the right time with the right message. And in both our Facebook Live sessions and on the blog recently, I have touched on the right time, the right message, the right person. And I did include those links today for you in the live broadcast description. So you can get those links to the blog posts that correspond with this session that we're talking about right now. So today I want to talk about determining the right time for your marketing message. And this can be interpreted several different ways. So in the blog post, I really went into testing and understanding and figuring out what's the right time. I want to actually take a step back as we talk about it today in the live. And I want to give you an example from my real life, because I think this example will make it very easy for you to understand and comprehend and be able to figure out then how to relay that into your business. So I'm a mom. I have a 2-year-old. And obviously it's mid-October. Halloween is coming up. I have some clothes that he had from last year, from Halloween, that don't fit him anymore, because a 2-year-old needs new clothes every season because they're growing. So I've been holding on to those Halloween clothes, as well as the Thanksgiving outfit and the Christmas stuff, in his closet for the past year, 6 months, whatever, since he outgrew them and decided he was done wearing them. Because 2-year-olds wear their Halloween clothes when they feel like it. They don't care if it's holiday appropriate. They care that that's what they want to wear today. So had I listed those Halloween items or those Christmas items back in May, June, July, they probably wouldn't have sold very quickly, because my audience wasn't interested in them at that time frame, because it wasn't seasonally appropriate or necessary. Now, being a marketer, I understood let's go ahead and sell those in mid-October. So I posted the Halloween clothes, and it was cute stuff. It was a hoodie, a sweatshirt, some jammies, a couple of t-shirts, a short sleeve one, a long sleeve one, etc. So I listed those Halloween clothes for resale this week because it's the middle of October. Halloween is in 2 weeks. People are more likely going to be interested in Halloween items for their kids today. That is targeting my message at the right time. Had I listed those in July, nobody would have really been interested. But because I went ahead and did it in October, it made sense. Now, the Halloween clothes were going over really well and people were very interested in them, and they were seasonally appropriate, and it was exactly what they needed right now. So I went ahead and did another post where I went to resell the Christmas clothing. So Christmas jammies, shirts, just a couple nice shirts that could be worn for family photos, because right now people are doing holiday Christmas photos. It's October, it's time to do your photos. Those also went really fast. I mean, we're talking the really cute resale stuff was sold within a day. I mean, people were trying to buy them within 10 minutes, and they were trying to buy everything that I had. So that's what I mean when I say we need to think about our audience as we try to market our products, and we need to make sure that we're targeting the right person. So in this example, I targeted moms and dads, grandparents, people who had young children. I marketed, my message was that I had very good used condition. So excellent used condition, size 2T, holiday clothing. And I shared that some was boy, some was gender neutral. I included images because pictures help us tell a better story. It makes it easier for people to relate and understand. I also highlighted the fact that they were only worn by one child, and they were only used for one season, and some of the items were never worn. Now, this is a message that means a lot to that particular audience, because so frequently in kids resale, the items have been worn by 2, 3, 4 kids, and so they're not as high quality, or they're not in as good a shape. There's stains, there's etc. Because this was going over well, and then the timing of it. Obviously, the timing of it being right before Halloween, which rolled into Christmas. Now, with all of this being so well received and people being so interested, I took the opportunity to kind of test and to introduce the next step, which is I have an entire size 2T boys winter wardrobe from stores like Gap and Gymboree. So they're very, very high quality clothing. They're very nice. And from that, I had people starting to say, can I just come look at everything? I actually got a message this morning from a woman who bought his entire winter wardrobe last year, who just wants to know how much is it for everything, because she knows she wants what I have. That's what we really want to do from a marketing standpoint. We want to build relationships and build raving fans. And how we do this is by always thinking about our audience. So having the right message at the right time, for the right person. The other thing that can be really important that we haven't really touched on yet is targeting them in the right manner or on the right channel. And that's something that we'll talk about a little bit more in the future, but really understanding who is your audience member. So that's where seasonality comes into play, and really understanding what is someone interested in today. If I were to try to sell his Easter outfit today, it wouldn't go, but his Halloween stuff did. So Easter, you can bet I'm going to look at the calendar and see when are we 2 to 4 weeks out from Easter, and I'm going to list the Easter outfit and show that and see if anybody's interested in that and they want it for next year for their child. This is what I want you to think about from a marketing perspective when we talk about finding the right time for our marketing message. Really understanding your audience is key to success in marketing. The better you understand the audience, the more you're going to be able to really target your messages for them, so that it is useful information. And in marketing, it should never be about just sharing information, promotion. There has to be something there that your audience finds useful and helpful, and something that they need or want in that moment in order for them really to connect with you. The other thing is just making sure that you're not being so promotional that they never want to hear from you. They see an email and they go, oh, not again, click. How many of us do that? We have somewhere you maybe signed up for somebody's email because you wanted the coupon. Let's be real, most of us want the coupon from a retail store. We want to get the discount. We want to hear from them when there's an offer. You know, there's some stores I know I'm only going to buy from when they run a 40% offer. I may go in, I may see something that looks really good, I may like it, but I'm not going to buy it until they run that 40% coupon because I know they're going to do it. And it's going to be within the next month because they do it frequently. That's all part of timing the marketing message, is understanding when to make that approach, what type of offer to have. So in the blog post, I talked a little bit more about testing and really understanding who your audience is. And this is where we want to think about your consumer. So who is your target audience? Who is your ideal consumer? You want to make sure that you know who they are, and then you want to think about them and pretend that you're in their shoes and in their day, because that's the best way to really think about when is this information going to be the most welcome. So like I said, I'm a mom, I have a 2-year-old. I'm trying to get him ready and get him out the door to his daycare, his Montessori school, before 8 a.m. so that I can start my work day, because I can't imagine, as much as I love him, I can't imagine trying to work with him here at home with me, because I just simply would get nothing done. He'd want to play cars all day or go, you know, hang out with mom, go to the park. So he goes to school, I go to work. With that being said, that stretch between 6 and 8 in the morning, I'm really focused on getting both of us up and ready and out the door and packing lunches and making breakfast and all of that. I'm not open to marketing messages at that hour. It's just not going to work for my day. Now, if my target consumer, if my target audience is somebody who maybe works in the city. So my last job, I worked with a lot of people who lived in New York. Our main office was New York City. So a lot of my staff and my boss, different ones, commuted in. They easily spent an hour on the train in the morning. So they were on the train by 7:30 or 8 o'clock. They spent an hour on the train. That was an ideal time to message them and market to them, because they were there. They were a captive audience. They weren't having to actively think about getting out the door. They didn't have to try to drive. They weren't fighting traffic on the freeway like we were here in Phoenix. They had a passive commute and they had free time. And most of them worked on the trains. Some of the trains have Wi-Fi. They would work, they'd catch up. Sometimes they take calls. So if your consumer is somebody who works in a big city and commutes in and probably rides the train, that early morning time frame during their commute might be ideal. The other thing we talk about, so let's say that we are targeting someone who's in business, and maybe we're targeting our message on LinkedIn. Maybe that's the channel that we're going after. Generally, people who are in business, who work in offices, who have managerial and above roles, on Monday, they're catching up. They're trying to catch up from being gone for the weekend. They're trying to get through email. They're trying to see what's going on. They're trying to set their program for the week. They're coordinating with their staff, etc. We find that Monday doesn't really work well for that consumer from a messaging standpoint, because they're really focused on something else. The other thing that we find is that Friday, and I know I'm testing Friday here because this is part of what I do, is test, because I want to understand my audience and know what works the best for you. So I'm testing Friday morning right now to see how many people are interested, does this work for you, etc. Friday is not generally the best day from a marketing perspective for business messages, because people are usually trying to wind up their week and they're trying to get into the weekend mode. Now, if your product or service is something that people are more likely to do in the off time, then Friday might be ideal for you. We also recommend that we keep messages a little more lighthearted on Friday, because people are more into that weekend mode. They don't really want to think about anything complex. They don't really want to think about anything hard. They want to wrap up the projects that they have on their plate, and they want to be able to slowly transition into the weekend and enjoy their time away from the office and reconnect with their friends and family and those who are the most important to them. So really think about your audience. What I'd love you to do is you're trying to figure it out and you're doing some testing. And I do recommend testing. I recommend that you test different days of the week. I also recommend that you test different times of day. So try something at 9 in the morning, try something around noon, try something mid-afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock. See what works. Sometimes test on the weekend. We do see some markets that actually have significant increases in engagement on the weekend. I've seen some clients where, I share an example in the blog post, one client was trying to target shipping managers. And by happenstance, they happened to send an email at 5 a.m. It wasn't even really part of their testing plan. It was kind of a technical glitch that happened. It was not supposed to go at 5, but it did. And at first we were very concerned because we'd messed up, something had gone wrong. It had been a technology challenge. Something had gone wrong through the email service provider. But what we saw was that 5 a.m. email had amazing results. And what we realized was our target audience were shipping managers. And then we knew they were early. We were testing like 6, 7, etc. But 5 was when they were actually getting into work, logging on and starting to take a look at their email. And they were much more likely to read the email, to click through on the links, to engage with it or respond when they received it at 5 in the morning. 5 a.m. became our standard time because that's what worked for our audience. So how do you find out what works for your audience? That's probably the next thing that you're kind of wondering as I'm talking about all of this and you're going through it and you're kind of like, okay, Rachel, what do I do next? So you can find out a couple ways. The first way is if you have an audience that you've built, you can ask them. You can survey them. You can do a Facebook post. You can put up a little poll and ask them what time would be the best for them. If you don't have that completely built in yet, that's okay. If you have a website or a blog, you have access to Google Analytics. Google Analytics is going to tell you what's the most popular time for your website. When do people visit? What days of the week? What times of day? If you have a Facebook business page, you're going to have that same information available. If you're on Instagram as a business account, not personal, you get similar analytics. So you can really start to understand your time of day as well as your day of week so that you can get to know your audience better across the different channels. I don't want you to ever make a decision based on just one channel. If you have multiple channels, I want you to take that data, look at it, analyze it, and determine, okay, my patterns are that on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, the majority of my visitors are active on all channels. This is my number one day across my channels. So I want you to test your email. If you're doing an email blast, I want you to start with Tuesday at 2 o'clock as your test, because what your data is telling you today is that that's the most popular time for your audience. So just think about your customer, think about who you're trying to reach, take a look at your analytics, survey them if you have direct access to them, and then start testing and keep track. And this is the most important thing. You're going to want to start an Excel file, or you're going to want to do something where you can keep track of your test results. So from an email standpoint, you want to look at your open rate and your click-through rate. Your ideal open rate is around 20%. That's usually your target. So anything that you're getting over 20% is really good. Your click-through rate is usually a target around 3%. So if you're getting higher than 3%, that's good. If you're getting lower than that, then you're going to want to maybe look at your email and see, do you need to change something out? And we can talk more about testing if you have questions about testing and optimizing and how kind of, here's the results and where do we go from here? What does this mean? And where do I go from here? We can talk about that. Let me know if you want that type training. We can add that to the agenda and we can talk about that. If you have questions, leave them on the page here and I'll add them to what we discussed during some of these Facebook Live trainings, because I'm here. I want to help you learn how to market your business better and hopefully be able to be more successful and more productive in what you're doing. So I really want to thank you for joining today to learn about targeting your market better. I appreciate the hearts that are coming across the screen. Thank you. It makes me feel great to know that what I'm doing helps and makes a difference for you. So please follow along on the blog. The links are in the post here. So you'll be able to find the 3 corresponding articles where we talk about finding your right targeting the right person at the right time with the right message. And today we've talked all about how do you understand and how do you figure out what that right time is. Start with what looks like the most promising, keep track, test it, and just keep going. Don't give up. Just because you get frustrated or you feel like something's not working, that doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean you should give up. Marketing is a series of ongoing tests. It can be frustrating. It can make you feel really frustrated if you're working really hard and you're sending this email and you're so proud of it and only 2 people open it and one of them is your mom. Which I can't even say one of them is my mom because my mom's not on my email list because I'm pretty sure she doesn't know how to work email. And she's really good at forwarding them. Anybody else have a mom who's really good at forwarding all the, like, the world's ending, do this, kind of whatever? Yeah, that's my mom. I love her, but she's not tech savvy. But you know what I mean. You know, you have a small list and you feel like it's not working. We're going to talk more about how we grow our lists and how we make sure that we're listening to our customer. And really the ultimate goal is to grow raving fans. We want people who want to hear from us. They want our messages. They want our products and services because they know us, they like us, they trust us. They know that they're going to get really good information. They're going to get a really good product. We'll talk about all sorts of stuff as we go through this process. I love training. I love sharing what I know. Like I said, you can look at my office. This is everything that's coming for you in the next, probably honestly 18 months. There are 4 training programs outlined on my wall, along with everything else. And each of those training programs is going to include blog posts and video and Facebook Live sessions. And we'll have Facebook groups where you can ask questions and discuss it and get answers and get help. So if you're curious about digital marketing, branding, marketing strategy, sales funnels. Have you heard sales funnels and you're kind of like, whoa, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? I don't get this. Opt-ins, tripwires, etc. It is all coming. The SEO, Introduction to SEO, needs a really fun, snazzy title. The Introduction to SEO course is almost ready. I'm working on wrapping up the final details of it. So we will very soon have an Introduction to SEO course where you get to learn everything that you need to know about marketing your business from an SEO perspective so that you can drive more free traffic. Free traffic is good, right? We want to be able to rank well on Google and be able to drive as much traffic as possible that we don't have to pay for. It's not live yet. It's coming soon. If you're not on the Marketing Academy email list yet, please go ahead and scroll down on the side on the Facebook business page or click on that link right in the top in the header. Either one of those will allow you to get on the mailing list so that you will be notified as soon as that's ready. I'm hoping to have it out to you within the next month. We're really close, working on doing a few things right now, some screencasts on how to do your keyword research and how to figure out not only what term to go after, but what term you have the best chance of ranking for, how to track it, how to see what's working, all of that. So make sure you sign up for the email list so that you are aware of what's going on and you know and you get that first chance at that training class because it's going to make a big difference for you. I worked in SEO for almost 10 years, so I know it inside and out and am really excited to bring to you all the strategies that I've used for really, really big brands. We had clients who paid millions of dollars a year for my team's services, so really ready to help you with it. It'll be available online. It'll be an on-demand course. You'll be able to access everything that you need to know. Let me peek over here and I'll tell you real quick. So the SEO class covers content, why content is important, what type content you should write, how frequently you should post. It's going to cover things like your title tags, meta descriptions, all your SEO optimization elements. We're going to get into the most important ranking factors. So, you know, we know there are over 200 ranking factors in Google's algorithm. We also know what the 2 most important ones are. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you impact them, how you try to drive authority for your website, how you build great content. We're going to talk about if guest posting is right for you and how to understand and then how to go after those opportunities and try to find them. So there's a whole lot coming. In the next week or so, there'll be a great download for you that is a SEO checklist, and it's everything you need to know before you push publish. So if you go ahead and sign up on that email list right now, we'll send that out to you as soon as it's ready, and we will be updating the information here to reflect that new fantastic offering of that SEO checklist that hopefully will help you know what to do and what to check off and make sure you've done everything before you hit publish so that your results will be better. And I know that my strategies work, and I want to share that with you because when I left my corporate job and decided to go out on my own, I brought my website back to life. I hadn't really done a whole lot with it. And I added new content. I refreshed all my optimization. I started blogging on a regular basis. And this was less than a year ago. And that website is now ranking on page 1 of Google for some major non-brand terms, things like content marketing agency, Phoenix. The last I checked, I was ranking in position number 5. I am ranking in with multi-million-dollar agencies that are working on huge clients. I'm actually outranking my old boss, my old employer, which makes me really happy because it proves I know what I'm doing. So I'm really excited to be able to bring that program to you and help you learn all about SEO, and we'll be doing that soon. The other program that's almost ready for you is one on Facebook marketing and some tips and tricks and hacks and why it's important and how to set up your business page and all of that. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming. Like I said, today was all about timing our marketing messages. So really understanding our audience, what they're doing, what their motivation is, what their daily routine looks like. And by understanding our audience and what they're doing and what their routine looks like, we can better target our messages. So really, before you hit send on an email, on a social media post, on anything like that, I want you to think about your audience and what information do they need. I also want you to think from a seasonality standpoint, does it make sense to try to market this item today? Is this something that my audience needs right now? Or is this something that they're 3 to 6 months out and they're not going to care about? Because if they're not ready to consume what you have today, they're not going to. So really, 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 more than anything, focus on your audience. Give them the information that they need at the time that they want it, and you will see better results. All right, that's it for today. Thanks so much. I will see you next week, and we will dig into yet another topic as we start talking about marketing and how we make it work better for us. If there's anything in particular that you would like to learn about, leave a message on the board for me and let me know. Obviously, you can see my wall. I have a bunch of ideas. I have all sorts of stuff coming for you. But if there's something that's really relevant to you, to where you are today, that would help you, let me know and I'll try to address that and just kind of move it up in the schedule and address it for you and try to help you. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.